Welcome to Short Movie Channel. The movie starts with a girl named Nat, who is spending the last day of her vacation on a beach in Mexico with her girlfriends. They're joined by their friends Millie, Tyler, and Greg, making a group of 5. They're all partying on the beach, dancing and taking pictures together, clearly having a great time. When they run out of drinks, they draw straws to see who'll go get more, and Nat ends up being the one to go. On her way, she sits in a quiet spot and sends a message from her phone to her mom and brother. Suddenly, an old homeless man interrupts her and asks for some money. She helps him out, and it's clear she feels good about doing it. She even offers to get him some food, but he refuses. She then notices he's missing a leg, and he tells her how he got injured. He warns her to be careful, but Nat doesn't quite understand him because of the language barrier. Meanwhile, her friends realize she's been gone a while and go looking for her. When they see her talking to the homeless man, they pull her away so they can get back to their party. Eventually, the party ends and everyone leaves, except Nat and her friends. They stay up until morning. Nat's exhausted and wants to sleep, but Millie reminds her that it's their last day of vacation and they should make the most of every minute before their flight. At that point, Tom is hanging out with Tyler and Greg. Greg spots some jet skis on the beach and suggests they take them out for a ride. They realize the owner hasn't shown up yet, so Tyler decides to break into the storage room and steal the keys. They all leave their phones and their shoes on the beach and take off into the water. Nat hesitates at first, unsure if she wants to go, but when she sees how much fun her friends are having, she decides to join in. They're all having a blast. Turns out Millie is the only one who brought her phone with her, so she takes it out and snaps some pics with the group. While they're out at sea, they pass a huge yacht. Nat realizes they've gone too far from the shore and starts to panic, begging her friends to turn back. But no one listens, and they keep pushing ahead, daring each other to race and see who's the bravest. They crash into each other at full speed, and Greg ends up badly hurt. He screams for help, and Nat rushes over to him to make sure he's okay. Meanwhile, Tom goes to save Millie, who can't swim. He helps her onto one of the jet skis. Nat notices that Tyler is missing, so she searches for him and finds him unconscious underwater. Tom heads over to help and pulls Tyler up. They also realize the second jet ski has sunk. They hurry back to Greg, help him up, and lift him onto a jet ski. His leg injury is serious and bleeding badly. Nat wraps it up to stop the bleeding, and Millie pulls out her phone. It still works. She tries to call someone for help, but there's no signal. At the same time, a big wave crashes onto the beach, knocking all their phones and stuff into the water. Now, no one knows Nat and her friends are stranded at sea. Tom suggests taking Nat and Greg back to shore to get help and then returning for Millie and Tyler. But Millie refuses. She's terrified she'll drown. Tyler promises to stay by her side and keep her safe. His words convince Millie to wait with him. Unfortunately, Tom can't get the jet ski to start. He checks it and realizes the engine is dead. He tries to fix it, but nothing works. Later, Nat uses her phone's screen to reflect sunlight, hoping someone on the shore will see them. There's a beach cleaner nearby, but they're too far away for him to notice. Tom realizes the current has carried them far out to sea. Nat adjusts her phone settings, trying to find a signal, but instead she's shocked to find pictures of Tom cheating on her with Millie. Tom sees her reaction and tries to grab the phone, but in the struggle, it falls into the water. Tom jumps in after it. While searching, a shark swims right past him, but he doesn't notice. Tom eventually finds the phone and brings it back. Nat is still stunned by what she saw. Millie tries to explain that she and Tom were drunk and not thinking straight, but Nat doesn't respond. Suddenly, Taylor remembers the yacht they passed by a little while ago. He tells his friends that he's going to head toward it, hoping he can find it. His friends try to stop him, explaining that the yacht is way too far, and if he goes, he might get lost in the ocean and not be able to come back. But Taylor insists on what he wants to do, and they let him go. Taylor starts swimming toward the yacht, and keeps going until he's far away from his friends. Then Millie spots a shark heading straight toward Taylor. She starts shouting to warn him, but unfortunately, Taylor doesn't hear her and keeps swimming. The shark disappears, and Millie and the others think the shark ate Taylor. But then the shark swims right past them, terrifying the group. In a panic, they all fall into the water. Tom quickly jumps in to save Millie because she can't swim. Then he swims back to the jet ski. At the same time, Nat swims over to help Greg, but the blood coming from Greg's leg attracts the shark. It attacks him and pulls him underwater. Nat gets tangled in Greg's watch strap and gets dragged down, so Tom assumes the shark ate both Nat and Greg. But Nat manages to untangle herself and swim back up to them. Now the three of them are shaken and don't know what to do next. Nat tells them she just realized the homeless man she met the day before was actually warning her about the shark, and that this was the same shark that took his leg. Then Nat asks Tom how many other girls he cheated on her with besides Millie. He admits to 5 but apologizes and begs for forgiveness, telling her he loves her and can't live without her. Nat tells him he only loves himself. Tom gets frustrated and tells her she needs to love herself too instead of constantly being nice and respectful to everyone around her. He says that because of that, she spends all her time helping others and forgot that he's supposed to be the one who gets all her attention. Meanwhile, Taylor keeps swimming and finally sees the yacht. He spots the man on board and starts shouting, but the man is blasting loud music and doesn't hear him. Taylor tries to get closer to the yacht. Suddenly, the shark appears behind him and bites him. He screams for help, and the man on the yacht finally hears him. But the shark drags Taylor underwater, and by the time the man looks toward him again, there's nothing there. Back with Nat, Tom, and Millie, Millie's really thirsty from the sun and tries to drink seawater. Nat stops her, reminding her that the salt will only make her thirstier. Millie takes the chance to apologize to Nat and asks her to forgive her. Time passes, and night falls. Nat notices a light off in the distance. They think it might be the same yacht they saw the day before. They try using the phone they have to get the attention of anyone on board, but it doesn't work, no one sees them. Nat asks Tom to swim over there, and he jumps into the water, but he gets scared and climbs back onto the jet ski. Nat decides to go herself, and tells the others to scream if they see the shark so she can be alert. She swims toward the light, but when she gets there, she's shocked to find that the source of the light is just a lamp hanging from a dead body, surrounded by floating wooden planks. The body is disfigured. Nat quickly backs away. Tom swims over to her, grabs her, and pulls her back to the jet ski. Nat tells them what she saw and guesses that the body belonged to a sailor, and that the shark must have attacked his boat and killed him. They stay in place until morning. When Nat wakes up, she sees a shark passing underneath them and screams in fear, but it turns out she was just dreaming. Her scream wakes Tom and Millie, and they spot the dead sailor's body drifting toward them. There are wooden planks tied to the body from his boat. They swim over, grab the planks to use them for paddling. Millie asks them to take the sailor's life jacket too, since she can't swim and is scared of falling in the water again. Nat pulls the body closer, takes the jacket, and gives it to Millie. Then the three of them start paddling together using the wooden planks. But suddenly, a shark attacks them. Tom hits it with the wooden stick he's holding and manages to push it away. Then, the shark circles back and comes from the other side, biting Tom on the leg. Nat strikes it with the stick she has, and it swims off again. The shark keeps circling around them until it hits the jet ski, knocking it into the water. The shark then lunges at Tom again, causing him a serious injury. Nat quickly swims toward Tom and helps him back onto the jet ski. After that, she reaches out her hand to help Millie out of the water, but the shark grabs Millie by her legs and eats the lower half of her body. Only her upper half remains above the surface. Nat is in shock, and she throws what's left of Millie's body into the water, stunned by what just happened. Tom begins to lose consciousness, so Nat talks to him, trying to keep him awake and focused. Then, she starts looking for any way to fix the jet ski, because it's their only hope of escaping that place. Nat manages to break off a part of the motor casing and opens it up completely. She finds a disconnected wire that needs some plastic parts to reconnect it, and get the engine working again. She looks around and tries to find the rest of Millie's body to grab her life vest and use it to repair the engine. But Nat realizes that the shark already ate the rest of Millie. So, she takes the broken part of the motor casing to use it as a weapon in case the shark attacks again. She dives back into the water and swims quickly toward the life vest. Once she reaches it, she grabs a specific part from it. Suddenly, the shark appears and charges at her, but Nat bravely defends herself with the metal piece and manages to fend it off. She returns to the jet ski, but now we can see that she's been bitten on the arm. Still, she's able to repair the jet ski's engine. She tells Tom to hold on tight behind her so he doesn't fall off into the water. Then, Nat starts driving the jet ski toward the shore. The shark comes after them again and bites the jet ski, causing serious damage. It's about to sink. That's when Tom decides to sacrifice himself to lighten the load so the jet ski won't go under, because it can't handle both their weights. Tom throws himself into the water so the shark will go after him and give Nat a chance to escape. She begs him to get back on, but he refuses and tells her he loves her. He asks for her forgiveness and tells her to survive. Then the shark attacks Tom and eats him. Nat speeds off with the jet ski as fast as she can, heading toward the shore. She's almost there, but the jet ski crashes into an underwater rock, and Nat falls off. She sees the shark coming toward her, so she hides between the rocks. The shark tries to follow her but can't reach her. At that moment, Nat finally makes it to the shore and survives. And that's how the movie ends. If you liked the film, give us a thumbs up and let us know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.